Hello, I'm Wilberforce. Over the weeks, we've been studying parts of speech, which is also known as word classes. And then we said word classes can be defined as the categories in which words has been placed. Where we spoke about two major types of word classes, where we said one is major word class and then the other is minor word class. We discussed major word class, talking about their characteristics and then some examples of major word class. So we said the examples are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Today we'll be discussing minor word class. So we'll go through the same trend as we went through with the major word class. We'll look at the characteristics and then we'll take one after the other the examples of minor word class. Great. So with minor word class, they are words that are not part of the major word class. They don't belong to major word class. That is, they do not contain characteristics of the major word class. For instance, we said major word class belong to an open word class. With minor word class, don't belong to an open word class. So let's take an example. Let's say below. Now with the word below cannot be put in any of the above mentioned type of major word class, that is the noun, adjective, adverb, and verb. Below cannot be put into any of them because 1. Below do not have a meaning on its own. 2. Nothing can be added with below. We said with major word classes they receive attachments, but below cannot receive any attachments, etc., etc. So let's look at the characteristics of minor word classes. Great. So characteristics of minor word classes. Characteristics of minor word classes are the opposite of major word classes. So we said in major word classes that they have semantic content. Minor word classes do not have semantic content. And we said semantic content means that the word should have meaning on its own. So when we say they do not have semantic content, we mean words found in the minor word class do not have meaning on their own. So for instance, when I say off does not have a meaning on its own as compared to Kofi. When I say Kofi gives us a genuine idea of what I am talking about. For instance, when I say Kofi is talking about a gender. Kofi is also talking about a masculine being. It's talking about a human being. But when I say off is just off. Nothing about off, just off. Okay. So what one will ask, then why do we need minor word classes in a sentence? What minor word class or examples of minor word class, what they do is that they give meaning to major word class or they add more meanings to major word class. So what they actually add meaning, they don't have meaning on their own, they add meaning to words in the major word class. Let's give an example. Let's say example, the book on the table is mine. So we underline the words on and there. Now the book on the table is mine. It's talking about a particular book on a particular table. And so it means that if there is any book under the table, then that book is not mine. If there is any book on top of the fridge, then that book is not mine. So over here we are seeing that the words there and on is giving as real meaning of the particular book we are talking about and then the particular table we are talking about. And so we are seeing over here that on and there are giving meaning to the major word class book and table. So we see here that minor word class give or add more meanings to major word class. Characteristics 2. They form a closed class. They form a closed class. When we are talking about major word class, we said that they form an open word class, and then we said it means that new words can be added to them. And so when we say they form a closed word class, it means that new words cannot be added to minor word class category, or it is very difficult for words to be added to the minor word class category. Okay, so the next characteristics, the third one, they cannot be inflicted. When we spoke about inflection in under major word classes, we said that affixes or attachments can be added to them. And so if we are saying they cannot be inflected under minor word class, then we are saying that affixes or attachments cannot be added to them. For instance, I can't say there with s to mean plurality, or on with s to mean plurality. And so it means that words found under this type of part of speech do not have singular or plural form. All they have is the word on its own. For instance, hello is on its own. No word can be added to hello to mean any different word, like hellos or any other word. That is, they do not accept attachment, or they cannot be inflected. Okay, so example, let's say we want to change this sentence into the plural form. We have the books on the tables are mine. On and then. So we see that though the words books, tables, are and mine has been changed, there and on still remains the same. This is because they cannot be inflected. Though books has changed from its singular to the plural form, tables same, are same, but the words on and there still remains the same. This proves to the fact that minor word classes do not accept inflections or attachments. Okay, so I believe by now we can give examples of minor word classes, but let's give a few here so that they would guide us in giving the example. We can have example 1, goodbye. Hello. Of course, after hello we get hi. Below. And. But. Since. Therefore. Of. Below. Below has already been given. Under. Between. Etc. etc. Great. So let us now look at the types of parts of speech that are under the minor word class. So the first, we have preposition. Preposition. The next, conjunction. Then interjection. Then the terminus or articles or quantifiers. And then the last is a formulaic expression. So thank you for having time. Stay tuned for more exciting videos.